Hey YouTube, thanks for tuning in to another episode of VGAPR Garage. Today we're working on this 2012 Hyundai Elantra Limited. Alright, so first we're going to want to start off by removing the caliper because we're going to be doing a brake job. I should have said that. Now you know we're doing a brake job. Then pull the caliper off. These ones are kind of in bad shape. Right now is a perfect time to compress your piston. You don't want to let it hang. You can use a vise or one of these tools to compress it. I prefer this one because I do. And then I'm just going to let the caliper sit on the tie rod. You don't want to let it hang by the line. That's no good. Or I'm going to go get a box and hang that way. Alright, that's... Now you want to break your caliper bracket free. Alright, so now we're going to pop this off and take it to the bench and clean it and put the new pads in. So now we're just going to pop the pads out. And they're in there tight.
Free removal as well. We'll put that on the invoice. That's not included in the $12,000.
Go pop the old hardware out.
Why do you say that?
Pull your push pins. These are going to be cleaned. You're going to put new grease on them. Now, file. Alright, so now go ahead and put anti-seize in the
this is
maintenance services.
From the Adopt a Road department.
Yeah.
And I just calling about your Adopt a Road sign over on Jerusalem Road.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that? Are you the one that takes care of it?
Yes, me and Valerie.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just calling to let you know we're going to be upgrading it.
Okay.
So there's going to be, some fees involved. Like they're putting solar cells on top of it. And,
okay.
And they're going to put 4 battery packs on the back of the sign.
So it lights up at night or something?
Oh no, it doesn't. None of this does anything. It's just to upgrade it, so it'll be more modern.
So are you doing that to all the Adopt a Road signs in the county?
Most likely, yeah.
And then want to grab your brake.
Are you with the town of or are you with the county?
Yeah, the county.
You're with the county, okay. So what are these fees that are involved?
Well, it's about $12,000 to install all the solar cells. We just figured maybe you could pay about half of it.
Oh, you're funny.
Well, no, we would only pay for half of it, and then you would pay for the other half. Just around $6,000.
No, you know what? I don't know who you really are, but you need to send something We need to receive something in the mail. This is really
What do you
happening.
mean who I really am? I told you who I am. Steve Dave from the Adopt a Highway Department with the county.
Right, and you think that we're going to pay that much money to have a sign on the side of the road?
Well, it's for the solar upgrades. It's for solar cells and battery packs. Those things are expensive.
Yeah, no, we're not interested.
Well, no, we're definitely. Hey, can you tell that lady in the background to
Shut the fuck up.
Was that Valerie?
No, that's not her name.
Oh, okay. Well, can you tell whoever that was to please shut the fuck up? Like, stop butting into our conversation. Please. Ma'am?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, she's still talking. Can you please just real quick, just tell her to shut the fuck up?
Sir, I don't understand why someone as yourself would want to call here and speak to us in such a way.
Well, Mitch,
I mean, would you like the owner to call you? I'm sure he'd be happy to give you a call.
yeah, that'd be fine if he wants to do that.
All right, what's your phone number, sir? Because I'm sure he's going to want to talk to you. What's your phone number?
She was derailing our conversation was the problem. Like, you know, we were just...
The managers here, and I was letting them know to let you know that we don't get any business from this sign.
excuse me, ma'am. I noticed you haven't shut the fuck up yet.
What's your phone number?
That would be on your caller ID. Just look on your caller ID, and there it is. That's
I'm
my
looking at it right now.
direct line.
I'm leaving a note for the owner. Can I have your number?
Well, if you're looking at it, why do you need it? It's right there. Like, look on your displays.
That I'm not looking at the caller ID right now.
Well,
Do
you
you
don't
want to
have-
leave your name and number?
You don't have to yell at me. No, we can...
Nobody's yelling at you. I'm sorry. We're very busy here right now, but thank you.
Yeah, it sounds real busy there. Tim in the chat room says, that woman in the background sounds like a real prize. I agree. Wow, there's a lot of people involved. There's Valerie. There's some unnamed male person that's going to give me a call back. It's a big business over there. God, look, XYZ's hanging out in his own chat room. What a loser.
Hello?
Hi. Is this the realtor?
Yeah, the stream real sign.
Oh, hey, Judy. This is Steve Dave from Adopt a Road.
So, on your car maybe, or not, there's going to be screws in here and here. If it doesn't have it, it's fine. This is actually used at the factory to hold the rotor in. We're going to go ahead and pop these bad boys out. There we go. Let me grab a pig's blanket. And then, as you can tell, the rotor is stuck on. We got to get that off. There we go. Alright, so now, to stop the rotor from becoming stuck again, I'm going to apply some anti-seize to the hub. Now we can install the rotor. This rotor comes, what's the term? Vacuum sealed. So it didn't have any oil on it. So don't need to clean it. Go ahead and grab your screws. There's no need to go crazy when putting them back in. They will break easy. Just it's more than enough to hold them. So let's go ahead and reinstall the caliper bracket with the hardware. Go. these bolts, this one doesn't want to come free. I think I should use the wire wheel on it. Have washers. You don't, these lock washers, you need those. So don't lose them. I'm going to clean this bolt off. I'm going to pop these screws out. More power. Alright. Now we're going to remove the caliper. To the bottom. Where are you? Right there. Oh, that's right. There's a spring in the way, so you have to use a fucking wrench. Yeah. There we go. Alright. Piston should come right off. And now, I mean, like it can hang because the emergency brake line is connected from here and basically holds it up. But we need to compress this piston. You're going to want to get one of these tools or a cube. Actually, the cube doesn't work. It doesn't have the right size setting. So you're going to want to get one of these kits to compress this piston. Get it small enough in there. And then you have these two holes. This has 4 slots in it, but in my kit, actually I think this is the wrong one. I have a 7 one. I really needed a 6, I believe. Let's see if it, yeah, I think, nope, it works. And then put all this stuff up in here. Actually, it's not small enough yet. There we go. So you want to put all this in your piston and then undo this. It's right up against the piston, and then you can start turning to compress the piston. This one is tight in there. That's not good. I don't think the emergency. So now we need to remove the bracket, and it looks like we have to actually replace the caliper. It's bad. Thanks, lighting. You're awesome that you failed. Jesus. Alright, so let's pop this one. Come on. All right. So now the bracket can come off, or it should, which doesn't want to because the rotor was bad. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with putting the filing and putting the shims in and cleaning the push pins and all that stuff. And then we're gonna come back. Oh, actually, I don't need to do it with this one because we're getting a new caliper. So none of this matters. A whole new caliper is gonna go on. Alright, so the rotor is unscrewed, but obviously it's not coming off, so there we go. Old rotor. There's the old stud, broke off because the stupid locking nut, the actual key broke. Had to buy a special tool to get it off. No one's gonna steal the keys off your Hyundai. That may be surprising. Don't get talked into buying them. It's stupid. Yeah, don't buy them. It's dumb. The other thing that I'm going to address is I'm calling Hyundai out. This caliper failed. The other caliper failed. It did this to the rotor. And yes, the customer should have come in sooner, but the point is, I posted a video on a Hyundai Sonata, dust shield gone, the emergency brake here destroyed, a Kia Sportage, brand new, needed rear brakes before the front brakes, and the brake shoes were so far extended out from the factory that the emergency brake was being applied all the time. It's like Hyundai does not know how to put proper brakes on a car. This should not have gotten stuck. There's no brake in the boot. I cannot turn this tool to compress the piston. The emergency brake is not applied. There's just a problem with Hyundai Kia brakes. It's really, really crappy. The customers end up having to spend more than just rotors and pads. They have to buy new calipers. They have to buy a new dust shield. This dust shield, this car's a 2012, and this dust shield is falling apart already. One layer of black paint, and that's all that they have to protect this from rock chips and rust. I think you can build a cheap car without being cheap in the process. Yeah, you bought a car for $15,000 that's new, or for example, I don't know how much money this one costs, but a couple years down the road, you're paying thousands of dollars to have the car be maintained because the manufacturer puts crappy parts on the car. What's wrong with a couple more layers of paint, two layers of paint, or powder coating this so this doesn't happen? What's wrong with putting good calipers that don't have these issues? And it's always the rear calipers on Kias and Hyundais that have these issues. How do they not know this is a problem? So I'm calling you out, Hyundai and Kia. You've got to create a better car. Not a better car, but you've got to put better products on your car. Talk to your distributors or something. This sucks for the owners, and maybe not so much for the mechanics, as we get to charge for it, but it sucks. You gotta do a better job. Spend less money on advertising, do a better job on the parts that you put in your cars. That's my rant on this car. I've got to clean this up, and we'll get continued. I'm not really going to show you how to do the caliper because this isn't a caliper job, and you might be surprised by this. This car's taking a lot longer than it's supposed to. So yeah, you're just going to want to install your caliper back on, and I bet I'm telling you. And that's basically it. I'm going to go ahead and do the brake line stuff off camera. It's not that important because it's just a brake job. Of course, you're going to want to put your wheels on, torque them down to proper spec, especially your wheels. If you guys have subscribed, I appreciate you being subscribed. If you haven't, you might want to think about it. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. I get back to everybody. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. I'm not really going to care about that though. Please follow me on Instagram and VGAPR Garage on Facebook. The links will be down in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.